Welcome back to more Inquisitor. We're just going to finish up the depths here. We did get a pretty swell gift from the ghost there. Orcbane. It's a two-handed axe, unfortunately, but it is pretty powerful. 35 to 44 damage, 22 chance to hit, 22 blinding immunity, and 160% against humans. Not sure why that's not against orcs. Maybe they count them as the same. I don't know. According to the legends, Orcbane was the fabled axe of King Harlior, who was using it to defend the mysterious kingdoms of Thrawn below the mountains when it got attacked by the armies of the Orc Khan Rashkar. After Harlior's defeat in the last battle that took place in the Great Hall, neither his body nor his fabled axe were found, which helped spread rumors that he would one day return from the Netherworld to take Thrawn back from the Orcs who defiled his fatherland. Orcbane is made of the best steel, the technology of processing metal in such a way that was lost long ago. Even though the axe was used for 100 years, its most gruesome battles, it could not be damaged or worn. The blade is decorated by an intricate web of runes, which probably evokes its magic properties. Durability 120. Not bad. Unfortunately, I have to lose my shield, which I've been focusing on. Because in this game, let's face it, you can use all the damn armor you can get. But I'm going to hang on to it. I'm not going to sell it. And if we ever start fighting humans or any humans attack us, we are switching to Orcbane. We're gonna whoop their ass. Apparently he didn't tell the other ghost in here that we're friendly. Open the chesticle. I hope it is so full of goodies. Give me some shit in the chesticle. Oh. No. Don't kill my fucking mutt. Give me some goodies. Alright, that's a dangerous chest. Open the chesticle from far away, or it's gonna kill your fucking donkey. It's like a death spell. Yes. You have casted Identify. Ooh. Nice. I've been picking up all kinds of stupid throwing axes and shit. And all these scalps probably not worth crap anyways. So we're just gonna drop those and go with our magic halberd here. Check out that shield. Disciple's Large Shield of Paralysis Immunity. Not that great for me. It's gonna get sold. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the dungeon here. I think from this point I'm better off going down rather than up. And I'll see you back on the outside. Or hell, you can just walk with me. Trudge with me one more time to these great minds. And kiss their ass goodbye. It'll be the last time. God, I hope. Only getting 10 XP off these guys now. Bullocks. There's an orange orc. Alright, screw this. See you on the outside. I don't want to put you through this pain and misery of seeing any more of the mines. Alright, so we're back in town. We've pretty much cleared all the areas that we can see at this point. Let's head on to Act 2. What do you say, folks? My son. Was Master Denman DeVos able to advise you for that school?
Partly he was, Monsignor. He wasn't able to translate it, but he recommended Bishop Trevorius in Gladsburg to me. He should be able to help us.
I know Trevorius. He's the Gladsburg Diocese Bishop. From time to time we visit each other, but during the last years we didn't have many opportunities to do so. As far as I know, he's a true and devoted servant of God. Although I thought the same about Judge Valerian. Anyways, if Master Edmund Diavarus recommended you to seek it, don't hesitate to do so. Set on the journey to Gladsburg, my son, and try to reveal the secret of that scroll. I'm convinced it doesn't hide any good, but it's our holy duty.
All right, Monsignor.
I'm glad you decided to take care of that damned case, my dear son. You must find out the truth about Judge Valerian and his plans here in Hillbrant at all cost. And at the same time, it's also absolutely necessary to find out if the rumor about, God forgive me, the invocation of the fallen angel Arthemon was true. I pray that they are just lies and fantasies of those lost souls. Because if Valerian was really able to summon the fallen angel, it would be not only proof of his deep heresy, but also a sign of a very bad crisis the realm fell into. Under normal circumstances, nothing of that kind should be possible, of course, because God protects his kingdom on earth, but these times are so bad that man can't be sure with anything. We must find out what the truth is. We must find out if the demon Arthemon was really invoked.
I'll find out if it's true or not, Monsignor.
Yes, that's what we need now. God protect all of us from the fallen angels and their infernal powers.
Yes, you're right, Monsignor. If you'll excuse me, I'll prepare for the journey to Gladsburg now.
Excellent idea, my son. However, if I can give you good advice, remember that Gladsburg's very different from Hillbrant. It's the second largest city in the realm, and although it wasn't spared from the scourges of God, still has a very large city in comparison to Hillbrant. Thus, be careful, because you're surely exposed to thousands of temptations there. You mustn't stray from your path. Do you understand?
No need to be afraid for me, Monsignor. Farewell. Do you have any other advice?
No, my son. It seems to me you've gained a lot of experience during the short time here spent in Hillbrant. To be successful in Gladsburg, good luck to you.
The alchemy skill of hire.
Act 2. Although the mad Judge Valerian was executed, and his soul is now about to face the final judgment, your quest has not been completed yet. Not by far. The mysterious cipher found on the heretical judge is remarks of some kind of a new order, and of the children who should rule the world when it comes, and above all claim that the fallen angel Arthemon has been summoned, suggested Valerian's crimes were not just a coincidence, and that they had deeper roots. So, you set off for your journey to Gladsburg, the second biggest city of the realm, to find the key to the whole mystery and to follow the track discovered in Hillbrant. You keep asking in vain whether your saviors knew how important the task they gave you in good faith was, or whether you had accidentally come across something nobody had ever any idea about before. Maybe Bishop Trevorius, whom you're supposed to contact in Gladsburg, can answer that. Your experience tells you, however, that prudence and a certain degree of paranoia are important for your survival. It is not the first time you have found yourself at the center of the scheme of someone you trusted to be your ally. You must not forget that the devil is cunning. It has thousands of faces. It is, after all, the year of 1223, and the end of the world is supposed to come, as is the traditional tax phrase.
Alright, so here we are at a new town. Finally, after all this time. The only quest that was left over from the original Hillbrant area was to become a Brotherhood of the Righteous. I'm not really sure what I have to do here to finish that. I'm hoping that it's something that we'll finish up here in the next act. We also need to seek out Bishop Trevorius and help find out whether the heretics in Hillbrant really managed to invoke Arthemon, the fallen angel. Let's hope not, because that would suck. Alright, then we're going to seek out some people. We have normal people. Here we go. Alfonso di Serbio.
Nice to see you, knight. So, what brings you here? Do you want to buy something? Or maybe you have some stuff to sell. Whatever you want, I'm sure we'll make a good deal. Maybe you're interested in information, right? Even information can have its price nowadays, am I right? And what fortune brought you to Gladsburg, knight? I don't know you, and I don't know of doubt I've been in the city for a long time. I assure you that I get to about everyone who passes through the gate.
What is your name, good man?
Are you asking me who I am? Ha ha! An interesting question. Haven't heard it for ages. You know, knight, everyone knows me here, even those who've never heard about me. The name's Alfonso di Serbio. All around here, and it comes to serving customers. Chop my hand off if I can't get you anything you need.
I am pleased to meet you. Could I ask you a few questions?
But of course, knight, I'd love to have a little chat with you. Nevertheless, I must warn you in advance that it's not going to be free. Well, some of my information is kind of expensive. Depends on whom it's concerning. But I don't think that's so unusual. Rare stuff is expensive, and you can chop my hand off if any of my information won't satisfy you.
Are you trying to sell me information? It's really unusual. Have you any idea who I am? If it suits me, I can employ dozens of methods to make you talk.
Of course I know who you are, knight. My name is Di Serbio, isn't it? Di Serbio knows everything. But don't be mistaken, knight. Even the Holy Inquisition buys my information. So, don't be upset and don't think that I'm denying to tell you something. I'm just asking for a little benevolence, you know? I have 7 mouths to feed.
Thanks for the warning. Could I ask some questions now? Peace out. He's like Flitz in the last one. And the well here has 100 gold pieces for us. Fantastic. I might as well be rich. We'll go ahead and do another save here. Well, let's begin to wander around the new town. $250 experience. Praying to the shrine. We also have Braham, named after the cows in Fallout.
Knight, give a little girl to a poor, tormented soul. I'm a humble servant of God, and humblest of all. All my life I've been living in accordance with the commandment of Saint Bardolinus. Be modest so there's more left of those who need it. I humbly lower my head before God Almighty and the Brotherhood of Righteous. Eternal glory be to the Grand Master D. Malamert and all his brothers.
What is your name?
Braham, knight. Braham of Oldstadt, that's my name.
Braham of Oldstadt? Are you noble?
Oh, no, knight. They all started to call me that when I was a little kid because they found me at the gate of Oldstadt. I don't even know who my goddamn parents are. They left me bare naked on the street and didn't care whether wild dogs ate me.
Take these arms, Braham. Use them wisely.
Thank you very much, valiant knight. But wait a moment. I wanted to ask you something. I couldn't have missed your paladin of the Brotherhood of Righteous. You see the assertion of justice in the realm as such, don't you?
Yes, that's right. Why are you asking?
I know I'm just a baggard, but anyways, I'm a victim of a crime, and I seek justice.
What kind of crime? What's happened to you?
I've been robbed, Valiant Knight. Robbed in full daylight, and no one did anything to help me.
What did they steal from you, good man? You don't seem to have much.
They stole my silver amulet, and I had it since I was little. They found it on me at the gate of Lustadt where my parents left me as soon as I was born. It's a magic amulet which protects me against all evil of this world. It must have been sanctified by the Saint Baldolinius. Personally, I'm sure about that.
And who stole it from you?
It was the bitch Wanda Gelwich, or to be precise, one of her bullies, who'll knock all your teeth out before you have the time to say sorry. He came to me, and before I could say anything, I was lying in the mud, and the lout was walking away with my amulet. But I'm not going to leave it that way. I want it back because it's mine. I know my rights, really.
I can help you, good man. I'll bring your amulet back.
Really? I'd be very grateful, Valiant Knight.
All right. Now answer a few questions for me. Who is the ruler of Gladsburg and the surrounding lands?
Well, it's going to cost you... Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go with the paying crap. I'll come back to you.
Welcome, son. Can I help you somehow? I guess you're new to Gladsburg. I'm Welver, and I'm the judge of the Holy Office. Gladsburg is in my judicial jurisdiction, and presently I hold the office of General Prosecutor in Gladsburg, too. If I'm not mistaken, you don't belong in the local chapter of the Brotherhood of the Righteous, do you?
No, Your Honor. I've just arrived from Hilbrandt.
From Hilbrandt, I've heard some news. Some unfortunate incident happened there. They say Bishop Valerian was sentenced and burned there. I must admit, it was my close friend, and his death quite unsettled me. Weren't you involved in that case?
Yes, Your Honor. It was I who accused Judge Valerian of heresy and brought forth the incriminating evidence during the inquisitorial trial.
Really? In that case, I assure thee that you owe me many answers. I've always deemed Judge Valerian a very honorable, though quite willful man, who's completely devoted to his mission. I'll find enough time to ask you very specific questions concerning reasons leading to the unfortunate incident.
I acted in conformity with the law, Your Honor. I have nothing to confess before God.
Only the investigation will show that. I presume Cardinal Tranquilius, the local Curial Inquisitor, is thoroughly informed about the matter, and he'll decide what's to be done. But now tell me, what is it that brought you here to Gladsburg?
I'm searching here for the cult of Children of New Order. I have reasonable suspicion some of its members are hiding here in Gladsburg.
Well, interesting to tell the truth. I don't remember coming across a single case concerning the ancient cult of demonics through my lifetime. We here in Gladsburg, some heretics endorsing the legacy of the cult of Dark Sunrise and the movement of the damned. We convicted even some Durbeginians, Herodians, and several worshippers of the cult of the dead, but no followers of the cult of the Children of the New Order. Are you really sure you're searching for the Children of the New Order? Why, the last mentions of them are the last days of the 100 Years' War, when they were all caught and executed, and it happened in the Empire, not here at Otherest.
Yes, it's really the cult of the Children of the New Order.
Well, that's alarming. It seems someone's trying to revive the cult. Heretics are completely mad these days in their efforts to destroy the true faith and to disrupt the Holy Mother Church, as if it hasn't been doing enough for them for the long centuries. This disgusting unfaithfulness must completely be uprooted. I hope you reveal them and hand them to justice, son.
I'll do my best, Your Honor.
Anyways, I'd like to speak with you now about the other thing. Could you spare a little time?
What's the matter, Your Honor?
Do you know the history of the pagan city of Galbornium, whose ruins can be found near Gladsburg?
No, I don't know any details about the history of Galbornium.
Then you know it used to be the capital of this province in the time when Fickland Peninsula belonged to the pagan realm of Erebor. In the year 223, the city was conquered by faithful armies led by Saint Orthenius and burned to the ground in order for it not to be inhabited ever again. Although there were attempts made to settle it again, there hanged the shadow of the pagan curse above the ruins. Instead of the city becoming a beautiful new faithful town, as it happens in the case of Alvaron, people had to abandon it and lay the foundations of Gladsburg several miles away, in a place that was much less favorable.
Could you tell me why?
The reason that there were unnamed evil crept into the city, and especially into its underground, ghosts, demons, shadows from pagan mythology, beasts from Erebonian menageries, all that seeked into the city among burnt, blackened by walls of smoke, leaving their hidden places at nights to leave bloody tracks in the shape of dead faithful behind them. That's why the town has been deserted forever and left at the mercy of the demons and ghosts.
It's a grim history. Why are you telling it to me?
Because I'm sure you've heard about the Temple of All Gods in the main square of Galbornium, which is the most imposing papal-sacral building in the whole Ficklin Peninsula. Even the faithful had to admire it in spite of themselves, because it really looked like a respectable house of God, although it was devoted to pagans. When the city was conquered and its inhabitants either killed or converted, the faithful priests decided to let the temple stand and to consecrate it and turn it into a magnificent divine sanctuary.
Well?
But then the ceremony came, attended by the most faithful inhabitants. Some dark pagan powers appeared next to the altar. They were maybe ghosts or demons, and terrible slaughter started. The faithful priest attempted to consecrate the temple twice more in all, but the same result. I deduce from it the ancient pagan evil settled down in the temple, and then it's been attracted to it. All what's evil and infernal since then.
Yes, it is quite possible. If the temple has been possessed by a pagan unclean powers, it's probably the reason why there have been infernal creatures lingering in the vicinity for centuries. Evil attracts evil, no matter what the origin is.
That's exactly my opinion, son. I'm sure if we could wipe out the evil from the Temple of All Gods, it would be a long step forward in many centuries-long fight against the unclean powers that have found their home in the ruins of Galbornium, and that's exactly what I'd like to speak with you about.
I think I'm starting to guess your point here, Your Honor.
Yes, my point is quite obvious. I'd like to ask you to dare to do what the Holy Mother Church has tried to no end several times during the last centuries, to concentrate the Temple of All Gods and make it a divine sanctuary. Would you accept such a demanding task?
I'll do as you ask of me, Your Honor.
I knew you wouldn't fail me, son. You're a true example for us all. May Archangel Gabriel himself and all the saints protect you here. Here, accept the sprinkler with holy water and allow you to fulfill the task. As soon as the Temple of All Gods is consecrated, I'll send several of our priests to start with repairing it and to keep the flame of the true faith burning amidst infernal darkness.
All right, Your Honor. May I ask you several questions, if I may? Who's the ruler here of Gladsburg and the surrounding lands?
The temporal power in the city is represented by Grand Duke Robert Hedrick in the office of Royal Governor. The Vice Governor is Duke Rowan Van Lieren, but otherwise we are all in the hands of God, of course.
What do you think about the crisis the realm has been dragged into, Your Honor?
It depends on what exactly you're asking about, son. You want to know my opinion on the cause of all that befallen the realm? All right, I'll tell you. The cause of all that is the smallness of people. People are creatures, and they have to be led, as a herd of sheep, by the firm hand of the shepherd. Only then the herd thrives, grows, and is content. It is not in vain that the Holy Scripture says, God is our shepherd, and we are his humble sheep. And behold, the firm hand of the shepherd has relaxed, and the herd is scattered. Some sheep got the impression they are shepherds themselves and started to preach their own words. Other sheep were strangled by hungry wolves. But most sheep have just scattered in the woods in fear, and now they're at a loss. It's unclear. The hand of the shepherd was relaxed.
Have I heard wrong, or have you just criticized the church? Because it's just the Holy Mother Church she's extended the hand to the shepherd.
You're very sharp, son, but don't try to find any words undermining the authority of the church in my speech. I'm trying to say people have erred, and they need to be called back into the herd by their shepherd, and those that are the most savage be destroyed. That's the task of the Holy Office, son. That's your task, and the task of my brother Inquisitors. If you do too well what the shepherd called us to do, our reward will be in the return of the God's earthly kingdom to the earth.
What of the monsters, hellspawns, can people meet here in Gladsburg and around?
There are more than enough hellspawns in Gladsburg and its vicinity, son, as well as enough heretics and apostates. There are footpaths and brigands waiting by the roads. There are hellspawns from the devil's caverns raiding the woods. But what worries me most are the living dead in the city cemetery. It seems the shadow of the beast has stained even that holy place, and the dead were raised back to the unclean life to become a tool of destruction. Who falls into the hands as his fate sealed? It worries me because there is nowhere to bury the dead, and if the deceased are denied eternal rest in the holy ground, their souls won't find peace.
Are there rewards offered here in Gladsburg for killing monsters?
Trading with death isn't among the things I'd like to be informed about, son, but to satisfy your curiosity, I must tell you, Sheriff Gender Smith pays rewards in gold for dead footpads. Ask him about details if you really need to know.
I'm searching for heretics here in Gladsburg. Do you have any suspicions, Your Honor?
I verify my suspicions myself, or I ask my prosecutors or inquisitors to do that, so I won't burden you with them, if you don't mind.
Has anything worth mentioned happened in Gladsburg lately?
Well, Francesca Gulvardi, the chambermaid of the Grand Duke, attempted to murder our Bishop Trevorius. Can you imagine the horror, son? She laid her hands on the highest priest of the Holy Mother Church here in the city, and its work of infernal powers, I'm sure of that. The girl surely was possessed by an unclean spirit, because how else could such a slender body be so powerful as to scatter the confessional all over the Episcopal temple?
Well?
The attempt was made during a confession on the holy ground of Episcopal temple, and imagine, son, that the poor soul tried to tear the bishop's throat like some fierce beast. Fortunately, Bishop Trevorius is a man of strong arms and stout heart. He resisted the attack and helped the guards to arrest the girl. She's been kept in the city jail since then, but it puzzles me why the bishop used his powers to forbid the Inquisition to hear the sentence of the girl. It's such obvious case of possession that she can be freed of the unclean spirit only by the purgative flame.
What do you know about fallen angels?
God protect us against the fallen angels and their infernal powers they wield. As you surely know, they are the former angels who were thrown out of heaven, along with Satan at the beginning of the time for their crimes against God. By falling into the bowels of hell, they've become demons, ugly horned monsters and Beelzebubs, wielding immense powers of chaos and evil. Arthemon is the ruler of the utter ruin. Baphomet rules the madness. Serde is the mistress of debauchery, and the fallen archangel Azrael administers the will of Satan himself, and is his first emissary.
Well?
They all together struggle for disrupting God's order, and for destroying God's kingdom on earth and in heaven. For this purpose they're trying to enter our world, but they cannot do that because the true faith in God the Redeemer inhibits them from doing that. So at least they're trying to sow the seeds of sins into the hearts of men. They're trying to entice God's sheep and lead them astray. And that's the task for us, the servants of God, to guard seculars and each other against this terrible evil.
Do you think it's possible to invoke the fallen angels?
No, son, that's impossible. Heretics may at most draw their attention by performing certain rites, but they can't break the restrictions by which the fallen angels are bound. That's why they send their minions instead of themselves. Regrettably, those lesser demons, for example, Giligi, Mazriel, protector of Elgaboreth, can in fact be involved. But it's impossible to invoke the fallen angels themselves. That would be the end of it all.
That's all. Farewell.
There's Mr. Trevorius.
What do you need, my son? I've been quite short on time recently, so be brief. I've arrived here, Monseigneur, to give your best regards from Master Edmund Diavaris, and to deliver you the letters asking for help. You say you've arrived from Hilbrant. I've heard some strange events happen there. It's said Inquisitorial Judge Valerian was executed there. He was my good friend, and his death alarmed me very much. Let me see the letter of Master Diavaris, my son. Here you are, Monseigneur. Well, really disturbing. According to what's written here, it was you that led the investigation of Judge Valerian and who initiated his execution. I won't hide my resentment. If there was really some suspicion of heresy, and I doubt that, the situation would have to be examined by the Curial Inquisitorial Commission from Plattsburgh, and not by a self-appointed inquisitorial judge. I find your actions most inappropriate. Tough shit.
Don't interrupt me, son. The letter continues to say the suspicion Judge Valerian concocted the invocation of the fallen angel Arthemon, who is to enter this world with the armies of orcs called forth from the accursed depths. And what's worse, along with the diocesan Bishop Quinton, you started to suspect that Judge Valerian could be a member of the heretical cult of Children of the New Order.
Exactly.
And I should believe that. The seal in this letter seems to be genuine, but it contents trouble me. Do you really want me to believe the Inquisitorial Judge Valerian has invoked the fallen angel Arthemon to destroy the world? Do you want me to believe that the Valerian was a member of the heretical cult that destroyed several years ago, centuries ago? I'm sorry, but whatever happened in Hilbrant, the letter from Master Diavaris didn't convince me of anything. Do you have any other proof that would assure me to verify those events?
I do, Monseigneur. We found this scroll hidden among the belongings of Judge Valerian.
Well, it's really a strange scroll. The parchment seems to be very old, and besides, frayed already. And the leather it's made of is unknown to me. It's really worrying. And the text, it looks like some rules or code.
It's true the cult of Children of New Order used to write in the forbidden script of Satan, but it's hard to say if this is exactly that case. I'm sorry, but although the scroll is quite troubling, it doesn't prove anything.
Monseigneur, I would hate to be impolite, but I must insist. All that was contained in the letter from Master Edmadia Vice really happened, and there is reasonable suspicion that the crimes of Judge Valerian weren't of his invention. Please help me.
I would hate to be impolite. No, my son, I'm sorry. You didn't give me any plausible proof confirming things Master Diavaris writes about. On the contrary, I would be more than advisable to let the law be investigated by the tribunal of the Inquisition. I will mention it, and Father Tranquillus is the curly Inquisitor of Glatzburg.
What? You want to make the Inquisition investigate me?
Indeed, my son, it's necessary to shed some light on what's going on in Hillbrant. As I said, you didn't persuade me about the truthfulness of your words in any way. The scroll is totally insufficient as proof, because we don't know its contents, and without it, it's worthless.
But that's what I'm talking about, Monseigneur. I wanted to ask you for your help deciphering that scroll. I haven't been able to do it myself.
Well, I don't know. It looks suspicious. I don't want to be pulled into some strange game you seem to have opened in Hillbrant. But maybe you're right. Deciphering that scroll would solve much. All right, I'll help you. I can't read the runes myself, and I doubt there is a book containing the transcription or this or similar script to my diocese, but I know of a person skilled in many occult and supernatural matters. It is the wise woman Henry Jungrit, who lives here in Glatzburg. Seek her out and show her the scroll. If she is willing to help you, let her translate the scroll and then return to me.
Thanks for your help, Monseigneur. Farewell.
And farewell to all you watching this episode of Inquisitor. Stay tuned for lots of more dialogue. Yes!